Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Professor Dr. Zohra Nazir Kiani, and I'm teaching you MS Physics course Semiconductor Electronic Devices. And you know that we are discussing about the fabrication of PN junctions. And today we have to discuss last article of this PN junction fabrication, that is etching and metallization. So initially we'll see that what is etching and how metallization takes place. First of all, you must have to revise the fabrication of PN junction diode. You know, initially we oxidize a silicon wafer by depositing silicon dioxide layer over there. So initially you will take a wafer, you will clean it, and how you will clean it? You use ultrasonic bath. First of all, you will clean it with soap and detergent. Then you will just put it in the beaker with isopropanol it, and then you will do the ultrasonic cleaning of this PN junction wafer. Then you will do the oxidation process, that is silicon dioxide layer will be deposited at top of the wafer. Then come the photolithography, that is you will produce windows inside the semiconductor material, and then from there you will deposit the dopants in through that windows. Now as the windows are created by photolithography, then the silicon oxide etching is conducted. After that, diffusion of the dopant is created. It can be done by ion implantation, by CVD, by any other method. But actually what you will do, you will diffuse certain pentavalent or trivalent impurity inside the semiconductor material. Then come the thin film metal deposition, that is aluminum is deposited. It can deposit by any PVD route, any chemical route. And after the deposition of the aluminum, then again photolithography is conducted, then etching take place, and then the semiconductor metal contact formation is done. So these are the steps in which junction is fabricated. So it is sum up of paper production, masking, etching, doping, and metallization. These are 5 steps which are going on. Now first of all, we will understand what is the etching. After the photoresist pattern is formed, it can be used as mask to etch the material underneath. In the early days of silicon technology, etching was done using wet chemicals. For example, dilute hydrofluoric acid can be used to etch silicon dioxide layer grown on silicon substrate with excellent selectivity. The term selectivity here refers to the fact that hydrofluoric acid attacks silicon dioxide but does not affect the silicon substrate underneath or photoresist mask. Although many wet etches are selective, they are unfortunately isotropic, which means that they etch as fast laterally as they etch vertically. This is unacceptable for ultra small features. Hence, wet etching has been largely um, supported by dry plasma ash-based etching, which can be made both selective and anisotropic, that is, etches vertically but not laterally along the surface. In modern IC processing, the main use of wet chemical processing is in the cleaning of the wafer. Plasmas are used in IC processing. The most popular type of plasma-based etching is known as the reactive ion etching. In a typical process, appropriate etch gas such as chlorofluorocarbon, chlorofluorocarbons flow into the mercury into the chamber at reduced pressure 1 to 100 millitorr, and a plasma is struck by applying an RF voltage across a cathode and anode. First of all, we will understand the assembly which is shown here in the figure. Here you can see that there is an RF power supply. The cathode is that spot on which you have placed the wafers. Anode is the outer assembly of the chamber. Uh, H gas will enter from here on this side, which will produce plasma and radicals inside, which will impinge the wafer, and during the impinge they will take the contamination along with them. And here you have a pump to reduce the pressure inside the chamber to increase the mean free path. So the reduced pressure which is applied inside it is 1 to 100 millitorr, and a plasma is struck by applying RF voltage across anode and cathode. The RF voltage accelerates the light electron in system to much kinetic energies 10 electron volt than the heavier ion. The high energy electron collide with neutral atoms and molecules to create ions and molecule fragments called radicals. The wafers are held on the RF powered cathode while the grounded chamber wall acts as an anode, as I have explained you earlier. From a study of plasma physics, we can show that although the bulk of plasma is highly conducting, equal potential region, less conducting sheath region form next to two electrodes. It can be shown that the voltage next to cathode can be increased by making the powered cathode smaller in area than the grounded anode. That is, cathode has a smaller area than anode, and this figure also shows that. A high DC voltage, 100 to 1000 positive ions, a high DC voltage develops across the sheet next to the RF powered cathode such that positive ions gain kinetic energy by being accelerating in this region and bombarded the wafer normal to surface. This bombardment and normal incidence contributes a physical component to the etching that makes it anisotropic. Physical etching, however, is rather unselective. Simultaneously, the highly reactive radical in the system give rise to chemical etch component that is very selective but not isotropic. The result is that RIE etching achieves a good compromise between anisotropy and selectivity and has become the mainstay of modern IC etch technology. So this is all over the etching, and what is the basic reason of etching, that it is used to remove the contamination which may be on the device or on the wafer. The other important factor which we have to consider is the metallization. Metallization process is also important because after etching we have to just connect a device with external circuit, so the metal contacts are needed. So a layer of oxide is grown on the deposit over the entire wafer. You know that as I have explained the photolithography, again and again same steps are repeated. You know that initially we have to deposit a silicon dioxide layer on the silicon wafer for device fabrication. A photo etching process removes the oxide from areas desired for metallization contact. Then a thin film of metal is applied. The metal is etched off. An integrated circuit may have multiple metallization layers to reduce the cost. So this is how the metallization take place. Now we will understand that what is the basic benefit. Basic benefit is same that as we have uh, process, the device, our integrated circuit, and we have to connect these ultimately to the IC package by metallization. So metal films are generally deposited by physical vapor deposition techniques such as evaporation of gold on gallium arsenide or sputtering of aluminium on silicon. Sputtering of aluminium is achieved by immersing an aluminium target, typically allied with 1% silicon and 4% copper, to improve the electrical and metallurgical properties of aluminium in an argon plasma. Argon ions bombard the aluminium and physically dislodge aluminium atoms by momentum transfer, and this is shown here in this figure. That is, argon atom just strike here, and what they will do, they will eject aluminium atom from this lattice. This is the aluminium target, incoming argon struck on it, and it just take off the aluminium from this aluminium target. Many of the aluminium atoms ejected from the target deposit on the silicon wafer, held in a close proximity to the target. You can see here their wafer is here. You can see here wafer holder which is holding the wafer. Here is your sputter target aluminium which is bombarded by argon, and here you have supplied a power supply, and here is the incoming sputtering gas, that is argon, and here is the vacuum pump to reduce the pressure, and similarly this hole is grounded. So many of the aluminium atoms ejected from the target deposit on silicon wafer, held in the close proximity in a chamber to the target. The aluminium is then patterned using metallization radical and subsequently etched by reactive ion etching. Finally, it is sintered at 450 degrees C for 30 minutes to form good electric ohmic contacts on silicon, as well as to produce the crystallization. After the interconnection metallization is complete, a protective overcoat of silicon nitride is deposited using plasma enhanced CVD. Then the individual integrated circuits can be separated by sawing or by scribbing or breaking the wafer. The final step of process are the mounting individual devices in appropriate packaging and connecting leads to the aluminium contact region. Very precise lead bonders are available for bonding of gold aluminium wire about 1,000 of an inch in diameter to a device, then to the package leads. The phase of device fabrication is called back end processing. So these are the main steps in making p-n junctions, and you can call these at the key factor, that is oxidation, window creation by photolithography, doping by diffusion, ion implantation by any other method, then reactive ion etching, and then metallization. These are 5 steps involved in the device fabrication. At this, I come to end of this lecture. I want to know that you should write in the Google class that what are the important chemicals used for chemical etching. Thanks for your attention.